Hello YouTube, Joe here. Today I thought we'd have a look at the chop saw. How about some ways to make it faster and make it more accurate? Real simple too. All you're going to need to do is make yourself a 90-degree fence, and hopefully you have a stop on your saw so you can tell it, I don't want you to go down any further than X. Let's have a look. Okay, and now in this view, you can see this is my stop. It's normally folded away as such so that this pin can't hit it and you can go down as far as you like. Simply bring it back and adjust it to the exact depth you need so that you don't cut through your bottom board. You want this board obviously to be just cut to the end but not into it to be able to take care of all you need. Now, perhaps you guys are going to need a bigger fence. Let's look at all of that in a better frame. This fixture can be made any way you need it, obviously. Come up as high as you like for more room to clamp, for thicker material. Maybe you need the board out deeper because you're doing 2x6s. Great, you need to make exactly what you need. This was made some time ago, but I thought I would show you just what it's all about. What I do when I make these is I screw it all together. I glue and screw it all together. And then once everything's 100% dry, I pull all the screws so that no matter where you slide this thing down, you're not going to hit anything. You don't want that. These things are way too expensive to be messing up, let alone we don't need parts flying. Now, if you want to bang up accuracy even further, once you make this cut and you figured out your exact depth to stop, everything's clamped in and it can't move, you now have a very accurate, true, exact spot that your saw is going to land in, as long as when you pull your saw down, you don't pull with an angle to the left or to the right. Be careful when you pull these down that you just use the exact momentum needed to make the arc. Because if you lean on it or pull on it at all, it will change your cut and it will make this deviate from perfection. And you want that to be perfect. You don't want these to move on your clamps. So then your next thing we'll talk about is how you mark a piece of wood. Hopefully the camera sees this decently. I've purposefully drawn a bunch of lines there that emulate something we would do. And if you need accuracy, I mean supreme accuracy, and you want to do this really quick, you don't want to come back and forth to the saw a bunch of times. In my opinion, what you would do is use an ultra sharp pencil and use a square, speed square, whatever it is, doesn't matter, and put yourself a real fine pencil line on there. These fatter lines and lines with little squiggles or anything that's in there that isn't perfect, your eye can't line up with that cut properly because of its size or because it's deviated from being square. If you line up a perfect pencil line that's very thin with the back of that cut mark, you can instantly cut it and it is perfect every time. You never have to come back to the saw. The only time you're coming back to the saw is when you make fat pencil lines and they're not done with a speed square. You don't know where to cut it for perfection. And I'm only talking about perfection here. You guys who need to just cut it close and kick it into space, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here. I'm simply showing you guys if you really need to tighten up perfection and you're done messing around with going back to the saw a bunch of times to get a miter or what have you to fit perfect. That's when this will really show up for you and this will really work out good for you. To give you a little closer look on that, if I can zoom in here slowly. Get a look at kind of what I'm saying here. If you line that up perfectly, you're going to have one banging cut. And there you go. You line that up perfect, bam, you're all set, ready to go. You guys let me know what you think. Take care.